Good evening, everyone. So, all right, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create three parts for this Neo4J videos. So, the first part, I'm going to talk about this sample data. All right, so basically, I will show you how to load this sample data, and then we will try our best to understand some of the basics functions, not functions, but this basics query that we can use in this Neo4j. All right. So let me show you how this thing is done. All right. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the link for the dump file in the description as well, so that you can actually download the dump file and then try to practice if you want to. All right. So basically what I've done is that I have already downloaded the dump file. All right, let me show you where to download the dump files. All right, just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's from this GitHub website here. All right. So it's github.com neo4j graph example recommendations. All right. Not to worry. I'll put this one inside the description so that you can just click on this one and go to download the dump files. All right. So basically, you need to go to the data. All right. Go to the data, and inside the data, you can see all the dump file here. All right, you can choose whatever dump file that you want. All right. So 25 is the oldest one and 5.26 is the latest one. All right. You can see that this was just uploaded 3 months ago. All right. So this is the latest one. All right. So I have already downloaded the dump file. So basically everything is inside my computers. All right, let me show you how to actually import this dump file into your Neo4j. All right, so this is my Neo4j. All right, so before we import this dump file, we need to create the instance here. All right, so you can also refer to this instance as a project here. All right, so let's click onto the instance. All right, so this is movie recommendations database. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to use short, just going to use movie here. All right, a simple name for this one. All right, and I'll just type in a very simple password. All right, and then I'll create this instant here. All right, so you can see that I have already created this instance. All right, so basically, this instance is done. All right, this instant is done. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to load this one. All right, what happened is that once you have created the instance, sometime it will automatically run the instance for you. So I need to stop this instance. All right, or else I will not be able to upload this import this dump file here. Okay. Okay, so it's going to take a while. All right, so once I have stopped this one, I'll just load this down file here. All right, so I'll just go to browse and then go to my download. All right, and then look for the dump file. All right, so this is the dump file. I just click on this one and then click open. All right, and import. All right, so basically this I have already imported my dump file. It is very simple. All right, so next what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check whether is it run. All right, so basically it is actually running. All right, it is running. So I have already imported the files. The file is here. This is the file. All right. And now what I need to do is that I need to go to the query. All right. Just go to the query and then you can start performing your query here. All right. So one of the very important thing about this Neo4j is to understand the structure of the database. All right. So basically, we call this database schema here. The structure is referred as a schema here. All right. So the schema is pretty important because without understanding the schema, you will not be able to write your query. All right. So let's have a look at the schema. Okay. So call db dot. Okay. All right. You can see that the name is all being given for you here. So basically, it allows you to easily search for what you want. Uh, schema dot visualizations. All right. Yes. Okay. So basically is db dot schema dot visualization here. All right. So okay, let's have a look. Okay. All right. So what happened here? Let's have a look. Okay, so it seems like, oh, okay. So one very important thing here is the database here. All right, because once you import the database, what happened is that it will automatically create a default database here. All right, so I need to change this one to my recommendations embedded here. All right, so now I can, okay, so now I can actually use this movie database here. All right. So I'll just do the same thing. Call db dot schema, then dot visualizations, and then I'll put this bracket here. All right. So okay. All right. So basically this is a schema here. If you are not able to see this the property here, all right. So what you have to do is that you can just click this open panel here, this little button here, to open up this property here. All right. So basically, this property here show you the information of the schema here. All right. So basically, you can see that the schema we have directors, actors, uh, users, movies, and person here. Okay, so this schema allows you to understand what is inside the database. All right, and it will allow you to easily create your own query. Okay, all right. So before we start creating the query, there are a few keywords that you need to be aware of. All right, so that you can actually use them easily to help you to filter away those unwanted data. All right, and so that you can actually see the data that you want. All right, so just give me a minute. Okay, let me go to okay, because this is the free version, so I don't think I have the whiteboard here. Okay, so okay, so I hope everyone can see my whiteboard here. All right, so basically there are a few keywords that you need to keep in mind here. All right. One of them will be okay, one of them will be this one, match. Okay, MATCH, match here. All right, match is just like the select that you have the select that you have in the relational database. All right, so you can say that this is equals to some, okay, equals to select here. All right, and you can also use this keywords called where. Okay, this where here is basically the same as the relational database. All right, it allows you to specify the conditions that you want. All right, and these are some of the keywords that you need to understand um before you can actually create your own query. Oh yeah, one more keywords here called with here. All right, with is very important. All right, we will talk more about this within the second part of our video. All right. So basically, with is where you want to bring the variables from the first match query to the second match query. You need to use this with here, or else you won't be able to use whatever variables in the first query here. All right. So with is important. All right. As the more complex your code is going to be, you will find that you will have a lot of this with inside. All right. With will transfer the variable from the top all the way to the bottom. All right. And you and inside this query, we are using something called this ASCII code here to help you to write the query here. All right. And this ASCII code is basically something look like the I mean the visual image in the database. Let's say, for example, we have this open and close bracket here. All right. This is used to represent the nodes here. All right, the nodes here. All right. And then we have this square bracket here. All right. This is used to represent the relationship. For simplicity, I'll just put a R here. All right. And then we have the curly bracket here. All right. Is used to represent the property. I'll put P here to represent property here. All right. So basically you need to know this one um all these symbols here. All right. And definitely not to forget about the arrows. Okay, arrows is used to represent also used to represent the relationship. Arrow plus the square bracket here. All right. So these are the things that you need to remember. All right. The match, the where, the with. All right. The round brackets, the square bracket, the curly bracket, and the arrows. All right. So basically, these are the things that we are going to use when we try to filter the database. All right. Okay, so you can see that the database is pretty simple here. All right, let me change my. Okay, let me clear all drawing. Okay, all right. So basically, the is pretty simple here. You just have to remember the syntax will be something like match. I think what I want to. I think okay, okay. It will be better for me to use text. All right, I realize I can use text. All right, match. Okay, match. All right, you can match. Then after that, you use the curly bracket. All right, and then you have the colons, and then you have the label inside. All right, the not label. All right, I'll just put not there for simplicity. All right, if you want to add your properties, you can. All right, you can add one properties inside. I'll put I'll put P here and then equals to some values. All right. And then you can have then you have the relationships. All right, with the square brackets, and then you put the relationships in here. Okay. And then you have the arrows. Then after that, another you point to another this another notes here. All right. So okay, what happens here? Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use another note here. All right. Okay, and then NODE here. All right, another note here. All right. So this is basically the query. All right. And you need to tell the query what you want to return. All right. So basically return. I'll put return here. And then I try to return, let's say for example, not one, all right, and bracket not two here. All right. So node one will be the first node, and the node two will be the second node here. All right. So basically, this will be how the syntax is going to be. All right. One thing that you have to keep in mind here is that the curly bracket here, if you have the curly bracket in the first node here, all right, then you no need to put the curly bracket in the second node here. All right. So basically, the curly bracket is to create the conditions here. All right, to specify the conditions that you want in the first node. All right. So if you want to put this curly bracket, these conditions, to specify these conditions in the second node, then you can remove this one from the first node here. All right, which means that you allow the first node to be the unknown sometime. Okay, the unknowns. All right, and you realize that in our this query here, we did not include the variables. All right, we did not include the variables. All right, so you can actually add the variables before the colon here. All right, so the whole thing will look like this. All right, okay, let me have a look. Okay, okay, the whole thing is going to look like this. All right, I'll put variable one. Then after that, we'll put note one here. All right. And then this time around, I want my conditions to be at the back. All right. So this is my first node, and then this is my relationship, and I can also put variables inside my relationship. Let's say this is variable two, then colon, then I have my relationship here. All right, close brackets, then this one. All right, and this is my relationships, and then my second node here. All right, okay, so second node, I will have my RIABLE variable two, then after that bracket, yep, then node two, and then my curly brackets, and then I have my, to make it short here, I'll just put P, then bracket, LUE values, and then I'll put a bracket here. Sorry, my close curly bracket, and then this one here. All right. So, and then after that, I'll try to return. Okay, return node one and node two here. Okay. All right. So basically, this will be the full syntax if you want to add in the variables. All right. So basically, what this query will do is that it will return you the visualizations of the results. All right. It will give you a result, a visual result here. All right. So if you want to see a table result, let's say for example, you want to see some of the values, a list of values rather than a list, a bunch of this node here. All right. So what you can do is that it, I can use the same thing here. Okay, I'll just make it a bit simple here. I'll put variable one as v1 and node one as n1, and then I'll just close the bracket here. All right, then I'll just put this one here, and then there's no variables for my relationship. I'll make it short and simple. I'll put R here, and then I'll just put my arrows here. Okay, and then after that, my second notes here. All right, my second notes is this one, and then second note will have variable v2, and then colon and two, and then this one. Okay, and then I'll just put in my p, and then I'll put my value. Okay, values, and then I'll close. All right, so this will be my query. All right, and then what is going to happen is that you'll find that basically the query is nothing changed in the query. All right, what changes will be your returns? Okay, I'll return, let's say, for example, I want a property from variable one. All right, variable one. So I'll say that dot. All right. Then after that, I'll say name here. All right. And then I'll say that I want something from variable two as well. Okay, variable two, I let's say variable two will be order here. All right. Order number. All right, just to make it a bit more realistic here. All right. And okay, and then that's it. All right. So what this is going to return me is that it is going to return me a table with a column of names and then the other column of order number here. All right. So basically this I will get a table from here. All right. Hopefully, this will give you some ideas about how the whole query is going to look like. All right. And some of the syntax here. All right. And just keep in mind here is that when you do filtering, it is very simple here. You just have to remember that you are using match here to do the filtering. All right. And then you just need to remember this ASCII characters here. All right. The round brackets represent nodes, the square bracket represent relationships, and then you have the arrows, and then the curly bracket represent um property here. All right. So basically this is pretty simple here. All right. So you can see that we can actually use this one to create um we can use this one to actually to filter whatever we want in the movies database. All right. Let me okay. So you can see that this is our movie database here. All right. So let's say I want to look for a movies here. All right. Okay, I want to look for one movies node. Okay, so basically I can say that I want to look for one movies node. Okay, so I'll just put in a movie variables and then I'll choose movie and then curly bracket. All right, then I'll put title is equals to golden eye. Okay, and then I return movies. Okay, all right. So this is a very simple one. This will just return golden eye here. Okay. Oh yeah. I think I make a serious mistake here. This should be a colon here. All right. So all right, you can see that this is my GoldenEye movie here. All right, so basically, I have a single notes here. All right, all right. How about getting a bunch of notes here? How to? I'll make this one a bit more complex now. Let's say I want to find out the actors that actually act in GoldenEye here. All right. So what I can do is that I can actually make this one a bit harder, a bit more complex. Okay. All right. So before I make it more complex, it is very important for you to understand this one here. So basically, you can see the actors is pointing back to the movies. All right. So we know that the directions of the relationships. All right. So and it will be easy for us to write the coding. All right. So I can actually say that okay, act then actors bracket. Okay, then the arrows. Okay, I know that the arrows. Okay, so basically is act in GoldenEye. All right, so this is what I need, and then I'll return movies and act actors. All right, you can see that I'm actually returning the variables here. All right, act and the movies here. All right. Okay, let's see how it goes. What happens here? Okay, so let's have a look. Do I need to return the arrows as well? Okay, all right. So basically I need to return the relationship as well. All right. Yeah, so basically this is something that they have added into this new database. All right. So basically I need to return the relationship as well. All right. So I return the node, the relationship, and yeah, the movie node and the actor node, and after that the relationship as well. All right. So basically once I return all this thing, you can see that this is I get this one. All right. The older versions, you just return the node and then they will get the relationship for you. All right. But the newer one, you can see that this is basically what happens. All right. So let's say that I want to make it a bit more complex. I want to get the actors and the directors as well. All right. And the directors as well. All right. So what can I do here? All right. So basically you can see that the actors and the directors, all right, you can see that the actors here, the directors here, all right, the directors, some of the directors not only act direct, they also act in the movies itself. All right. But what we want is that we want the directors that direct the movie, all right, and the actors that act in the movie. All right. So basically, how do we create this kind of query? All right. So let me try to rearrange this one and then you will get some ideas here. Okay. All right, hopefully this will give you some ideas here. Just imagine that this the tree node at the bottom is not there. All right. So basically the query will look like this. All right. The query is going to look like this one. All right. Directors, movies, and then actors here. All right. So how do we actually write this query in the Neo4J cipher language? All right. So I already have this actors act movies here. So what I can do here is that I can add the arrows pointing in the other directions. All right. For the directors. Let's say okay, I will choose direct. Okay, and then after that I'll put in directors. All right. So director I'll put dir as the variables and then I'll put directors here. All right. So basically this is what I've done. So basically I have three different nodes here. All right. So I am going to include the directors variable here. All right. So this will you can see that we will have one more we will have three different class of this node here inside here. All right. Okay, so hopefully you can see here. All right. And you can see that we have a problem here. We did not have the relationship line here. All right. So I'll just add a D here. All right. To create for the sake of creating a variable. All right. And then after that, you can see that okay, now you can see that it makes sense now. All right. And you can see that the color for this relationships is pretty close to the actors one. So I want to change this color, the director color. I can go into the directors and then change the color here. All right. So the directors is because it's also under the person. All right. So I must well change the person color as well. All right. Change it to some different colors. Okay. So basically you can see that this is actors, this is directors here. All right. So basically this is directors here. All right. So I changed the color. All right. So you can see that the query can become a bit more complex. All right. And not to forget that this is basically a very simple sample query here. You can see that everything is pointing to the movie. All right. So basically it did not create the complexity is limited in this case here. All right. So in the next video, I'll show you the one that we have done in this week workshops. All right. So this week workshop we learn how to import. All right. So that will be something that will be shown to you guys in the second video. All right. So I'll see you in the second videos.